Good afternoon, and welcome to the midday meditation at Creative Living Fellowship here in Phoenix. My name is Dhamana Shauri, and I am so honored to facilitate this meditation with you today. So glad you're a part of it. So we're going to begin with first silence, then the sound of chanting with ancient Tibetan monks. There will be followed by more silence, and then I will take you on a journey of gratitude. And after we conclude our journey of gratitude, I will release you to the silence and ask you to contemplate gratitude, being grateful simply for the sake of being grateful. That's one of the greatest gifts you'll ever give yourself, is to live a life of gratitude. Now I'll ask you to do whatever you need to do to get quiet, to get still, and to allow yourself to be completely present for this experience. Let go of everything that's gone on before this time and forget about what you're going to do after this time. Go into that still, small space and be fully present. Gratitude, being grateful, being thankful. We learn these things as little children. And we usually learn to be grateful as a response to something else. Being given a gift, doing well in school, after someone has done something else, then we show gratitude. But let's take the time to think of gratitude the other way. Being grateful in advance, giving thanks for what you expect to happen, what you envision happening, what you expect to take place as a result of spiritual work that you're doing. Now, that may sound a little odd at first, but think about it. We don't want gratitude to be a result of begging or beseeching. We want gratitude to be a proactive behavior. You're giving thanks because you truly expect to be given. And that's how gratitude works. It's a cycle of giving and receiving and giving and receiving and receiving and giving. It's like a circle. And what we know about circles is that there is no end and there is no beginning. It's a continuum. So think about some of the things you may want to experience in your life. And spirit knows nor big or little. Spirit only knows how to take what we give it and let the law demonstrate it on the physical plane. So perhaps you're looking for another job. Give thanks for it in advance. You don't have to wait. Because after that second interview, you may feel it in your bones that you've got that job. And if you've got it, you had it before the offer letter was given to you. It was already yours. So let us practice giving thanks in advance. Usually, we learn to give thanks for good things, things that we like, things that are pleasant, things that put a smile on our faces or make us feel good. And after you do a certain amount of spiritual work, you might see the value in giving thanks for everything that life brings your way. Because those things give you an opportunity to see yourself differently, to see yourself in a more uplifted space, to know higher of you or anyone else in your experience. So let's say you're planning a party, and the caterer calls and tells you the oven doesn't work and they're not going to be able to deliver your meal. Now you have a whole lot of choices to make, and you are the one making those choices. The caterer doesn't make you respond in any particular way. You can choose to be angry and upset, write bad reviews on Yelp. You can call all your friends and tell them never to use this caterer again. You can call people and tell them the party is off. Or you can be more uplifted about this situation and find a way to be grateful for this unknown situation. You can call all your friends who were expecting to come to the party and say, hey, I won't be able to have the food I had catered, but stop and bring something that brings you joy. Bring something you'd like to eat and share. And your attitude about it will absolutely impact your guests' attitude about it. And so what could wind up happening is you have a party better than the one you ever expected to have, because people are laughing about this hiccup in your plans. They're thinking about what they could bring that they like and that others would also like. And they're having fun talking about it. And that could be the talk of the evening. How what was supposed to be a catered affair is now a hilarious collective potluck affair. And you might wind up being the host or hostess with the mostest because of your attitude, because you saw something to be grateful for in this experience. Now, we don't go around looking for hiccups. It certainly would be a wonderful thing to have the catered food delivered as promised. But if it doesn't happen, let's look beyond that. Let's look between the lines. As Deepak Chopra calls it, let's look in the gap and see what's there. And in that situation was the seed of a wonderful evening with your friends, with different food and a different attitude. Let's say you're traveling somewhere. You get to the airport and your flight is oversold and you don't make the cut. What can you do? There are a bunch of things you can do. You can get upset. You can berate the ticket agent, although that person had absolutely nothing to do with what's happening with that flight. You can complain to all the other people at the gate and rev them up to where they're also ranting and raving. Or you can sit back, pull out your phone, pull up a podcast, take out a book, put your earbuds in, listen to some music, and let the day unfold. Now, again, do you want to look for situations like that? Most people don't, because you may have a pressing engagement at the other end of that flight. But if there's nothing you can do about it, nothing in the physical that you can do about it, then why expend wasted energy? Allow yourself to take those lemons and make the best bowl of lemonade you've ever had in your life. And you are in charge of the ingredients. You and only you determine what your response will be. So you can look at the flight delay with gratitude for you having some time to be alone, or you're having some time to reflect, for being able to catch up on that story on the podcast, to take your laptop in the corner and do some work. It's all a choice. And I don't think you can ever go wrong with choosing gratitude. As I said before, we often only think of being grateful for things that make us smile or make us happy. But let's look at nature. Most of us love sunsets, sunrises, rainbows. Those things are beautiful. I've never known someone to not like looking at any of those things. But what about some other things in nature? Hurricanes, tornadoes, tsunamis, blizzards. Those generally aren't things we look forward to or praise or bless. But are not those things just as much a part of nature as sunrises and sunsets and beautiful double-bowed rainbows in the sky? They're all of nature. What makes them different is how we look at them. So no, you don't have to run outside and be thrilled that a tornado is coming. What you can do, though, is figure out the best way to endure it and what you can do while you're going through that experience, because that's all it is an experience. It does not define you. It's an experience you're going through. Every single thing that happens to us is an experience with a lesson folded inside. We can choose to ignore the experience, and that will probably invite the experience again and again and again, because we have not allowed it to add to who we are. Or we can look at it and ask, what is my lesson here? What can I learn? How can I be more uplifted with this experience? What must I do with it? And as I said, it's all a choice. But since we're making choices all day, doesn't it make sense to make choices that are in our own best interest? Choices that uplift us, that allow us to be better than the previous moment. So I say yes to gratitude, being grateful for every little thing and every big thing, and putting no judgment on it that doesn't do us some good and that doesn't allow our spirits to evolve to a higher plane. Gratitude, being grateful, being thankful, are practices that can allow our lives to unfold in ways we never thought imaginable. So practice that for the rest of the day. See how many things you can find to be grateful for, and see what the lesson is. And it doesn't have to be a tragedy. You can be grateful for the color purple. You can be grateful for a beautiful robin hopping from branch to branch. You can be grateful for a misting rainfall, knowing that the grass needs it. You can be grateful for thinking of someone who hasn't crossed your mind in a while. That's enough to be grateful for. As I said, spirit doesn't know little and big. Spirit knows truth. So I invite you to surrender to the silence and think about the role of gratitude in your day, the rest of your week, in your forever. It's a wonderful gift to give yourself. Gratitude simply for the sake of gratitude. So as we release the sound of the chant, let us return back to your physical space. And when you're ready, open your eyes and reflect on this experience and what it has meant to you. I invite you to carry with you the attitude of gratitude for the rest of this day. And as I said earlier, see how many things you can find today to be grateful for. And know that they are indeed gifts that can allow your spirit to soar to heights you would not have thought possible. Thank you for joining us for Midday Meditation here at Creative Living Fellowship. It wouldn't have been the same without you. So please plan to join us on a regular basis. Thank you and have a wonderful day. And remember, that's also a choice.